Welcome to the Faceless Instagram Funnel Masterclass. In this free course, I'm going to show you exactly how running a faceless Instagram profile can get your agency to 10K per month consistently. This is not something I was working 10 years ago. I'm currently in 2025 using this exact system to run my lead generation agency. And for 1 year now, it brings me consistent 5 figures. And to implement this into your own business, you don't have to go viral. You don't have to show your face, and you don't have to do massive blasts of cold outreach. In fact, one of my first students, Samuel, was able to implement this system in his own agency, and starting with 10 followers, it took him 1 month to scale to 10K. If you go through this course and actually implement the things which I teach inside, in less than 24 hours, you will be equipped with the knowledge to close 2 clients every week directly from DMs and scale your agency to 10K per month. And this all can happen in a span of 1 month. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build a faceless profile that attracts high quality leads, create a clean offer that people say yes to, launch simple ads that bring you daily DMs and followers, create audience of buyers, copy my funnel that brings in consistent qualified clients, and sell just by posting content and chatting with people in DMs. You'll be able to, as I said before, close 2 clients per week and scale your agency to 10K per month consistently while keeping your sanity and actually enjoying the work as an agency owner. Welcome to the Faceless Instagram Funnel Masterclass. This training is, as you can see, 100% free. And yes, I made it free on purpose because I know when you see this working, you will trust me more. And without trust, there is really no point. Nobody's going to take any action. So the main purpose of this is to actually give you some valuable information, valuable action steps that you can take alone and see some results with it. So this alone can get you real results. I want you to see results before you even think about paying me or buying anything that I have from the products, from the services. But if you're serious about scaling and you want to move fast, the paid community and one-on-one coaching is where we lock it in fully. The main purpose of this course, to be fully transparent, is to give you enough value to see, give you enough value to get some results, and then to upsell you in the community. Because there I offer literally everything. But more on that later, I don't want to bother you with it. So for now, I have just one favor to ask of you. When you get your first DMs or close first clients from this, just comment below and let me see that this funnel is actually working. So I've seen results on myself and I've seen results on people working one-on-one with me. Everybody had like 100% success rate, but I want to see how this all moves with this free course. So anything that you have from success, any questions also that you have, just comment down below, message me on Instagram, whatever. Just I want to see you using this and I want to see how I can improve it in the future. So first of all, like, why would you even listen to me? Well, I keep my agency to a lean 10K per month running this faceless Instagram funnel. I have payments coming in every day and I have 0 sales calls. So it's really lean type of business. But it wasn't always like this. I was running my agency for 2 years and I built this system only after 2 years of failing to run my agency. It wasn't actually like a failure, but I couldn't position it in a way that I wanted to run a business, right? I was just as any other agency owner, I was struggling. I had 0 free time. I was sitting, as you can see here, on a schedule. 2023, it was summer. I was sitting on sales calls all day. So I had 6 hours per day of sales calls. I was burned out. I had no free time. And when I say free time, I don't mean free time to chill. I mean free time to work on the actual business, right? Like, so the way that I was running my funnel was I had the ads and then I would make people to book a call from my ads. And although I had like inbound leads, inbound people booking in calls and everything, I had a lot of no-shows. So a lot of those people from this calendar wouldn't even show up. If I was able to close them and they became clients, they were really bad clients. And I spent all of my free time fulfilling on those clients, right? And although I, delivered everything, they would still leave. So I was always stuck at 3 to 5K per month. For now, like, my service delivery is quite the same as it was 2 years ago. I changed some things, right? But it's still like I do lead generation, so the leads are kind of always the same. But the quality of people that I onboard has dramatically changed. I'm going to teach you this, how you can do the same thing in this course. Nothing seemed to be working for me, right? So I did, before all the ads, I did cold outreach. That wasn't working. I did those ads plus sales calls. That wasn't also working because I never had a profile. I even tried to do personal brand. That also flopped. I couldn't find a way to make it work. Some months did hit those 10K, but I couldn't keep them because every month people would leave. So I couldn't retain clients inside because they didn't trust the process. They didn't even like it. I would just push them into sale, and they were bad clients overall. So you can have 10K per month doing all of these like funnels. You can do 10K per month doing cold outreach, cold emails, whatever. But what kind of 10K? Do you have free time to work on your business? Is it sustainable? Are you sacrificing all of your life to those 10K? How long will you be able to do that? And most importantly, do you want to run that sort of a business for yourself? That's why I think most people bail on service business. Not because it's hard, but because they run a wrong funnel. And this was me 1 year ago. Last summer, I started to run this Faceless Instagram agency profile, and I treated it as a personal brand. And the result that I got was I completely got rid of sales calls in my business. I started to close people in DMs. I closed 2 clients in the first week, and I scaled to consistent 10K per month with a slim team of just 3 people inside. Since then, I've helped multiple agency owners grow to consistent 10K months using the same system. Biggest one of them being Samuel, that scaled 2 agencies in a span of 5 months. He scaled his first agency to 10K per month within the first month, and that was literally crazy. He was my first coaching client that I took, and he just exploded with results. And that was my confirmation, okay, this actually works. The program was 4 months, and he got out after 1 month because he actually got the results, which was crazy. I had an interview of him somewhere on YouTube. You can find it, like 30 minutes. After some time, because he got acquainted with how to run this Faceless profile, he started another agency from zero, and he closed 4K contract after 3 days with 21 followers. So literally, it's like 1K per month client pending after 3 days in your niche. 21 followers. Can you imagine that? Like, you have a profile of 21 followers. Within 3 days of running ads, simple ads, I'm going to teach you how to do so in this course, you get a client. So he signed in for 4 months. That's it. Like, it's literally that easy. Some other Samuel results, like, I'm not going to go read through all of these. You can go and read, but it's literally, it was like a flood of results with him. Carl also had an amazing results. He was also another agency owner. In 2 weeks, he closed 2.8K from 2 clients. Here also have some other results. But the point is, some people started with 0 content or a tiny audience. Some replaced their current systems, and some added it to their existing system. For example, Samuel was doing the cold outreach method with cold emails before. He was able to have it on 5, 6, 7K. I don't know how much he had, but it wasn't the type of business he wanted to run. Like, it was draining, like, and those people were cold, and those sales calls were heavy on him, right? Like, it's people are cold, right? It's not the way that you want to run an agency. So he implemented this funnel into his agency, and within the first month, he scaled with that to 10K. And that was not reoccurring, that the money he had from before. Like, that's a new pile of money, like new 10K just from the system. Everything I teach inside of this is what I still use daily. I use it in my agency and my programs, and everybody who tried to use it, it's still running. Like, it's currently something that's working. So I hope you actually take action on this. Before you start, I'll say this. This course will give you clarity, it will give you momentum, and it will give you results. But it's not all that you need. And I want to be fully transparent here. I want you to have results, but this is just the foundation. You'll walk away with the real tools. And when you do, you're going to start to see some results. But if you want the whole system, the execution, the ads, the templates, of course, everything, my support, one-on-one, the group calls and everything, that's inside of the full program. It's inside of the community. Let's speak about why everything else is broken and what you're building instead. 95% of agency owners operate like freelancers, not the actual businesses. They're constantly switching between content, calls, switching tactics, trying to find the best way to make it happen and to make it work. They are always reactive, they're never stable. And I know that from my own experience. I was trying to piece together all these different tactics from different people, doing cold outreach, doing some ads, doing some landing pages, selling, whatever. Like, you're trying to do a lot of things always trying to switch to something new, never actually going through one process till the end to see the results. Let's speak about why most funnels don't work. I have here a list of traditional funnels, and all of them I tried. That's the reason I know why they don't work. First of all, being cold outreach. There is no trust when you just do the cold blast to somebody, and mostly they don't need your service. They don't know that they don't need your service, right? They're not aware. So it's really hard to get them to buy and to retain them for long enough. You have this other funnel where you do ads and then you draw people to book calls and then you do sales calls and then you close them, which I did for 2 years. And the problem that I had there was no trust. And as time goes by now, the trust is missing more and more. We are now in 2025. If you expect people to buy from you after seeing your ad or speaking with you one time, receiving some emails like the warm-up sequence, whatever, you're mistaken. Like, it takes a bit more to warm people now. And the last one is organic marketing. The problem with organic is that there is no control over who sees your content, right? Like, you get a lot of people following you. You may go viral, but you're going to get a lot of unqualified people. So you're going to get lost in the crowd, like a lot of brokies. You're going to waste your time. And again, it's just not the way to actually scale and to run this slim and enjoyable business. And I'm not saying that they don't work, that you can't make 10K with them. I'm saying they don't work because there is an easier way to do it with less stress and more time to actually focus on your business. Most agency owners run complicated funnels, they book endless sales calls, they have a lot of automations running, a lot of softwares, and they burn out. This system that I'm about to teach you is so lean, it works with zero fancy tech. So I have zero softwares that I use for this. Like, I literally just have ads running on Instagram. I don't move from Instagram. This is the only platform that I use. And I see hardly anyone in the agency space use this. So that's your edge. Like, anybody that I thought by now, any agency owner, they said, I've never seen this. So it's still new. And although I'm happy that I get to teach other people, I know it's going to get a bit crowded as more people learn about it. So what we do here, we run a faceless funnel. The combination is ads, and then from the ads, we get people to follow us on Faceless personal brand. I say personal because it kind of sounds nice, but it's actually just an agency brand. And what we get there is we get people that need our service. They need our offer because they follow us. We target them with ads. And we get people to trust us because they follow us, right? And then we get this nurturing phase, which is much longer. So we get highly interested leads to follow us. We nurture them long-term with content because we make them our audience. We do that by running daily stories, and we do some reels. And when they feel ready, we sell them on our offer. For some people, that can be that exact same day because they go through the content, they see that you're actually a legit business, they get the trust. For some people, it actually takes 1 year. So this month, I closed 2 clients that have been following me for over 8 months. So you never know, but the compounding effect is wild with this. The long-term results, like, nobody is aware of this. Everybody is searching for fast wins. Like, how can I get people to sign up today so I can close them today, right? Or tomorrow, whatever. But people don't realize that if you get somebody closed that fast, they will probably leave you the next month. So you're not building something long-term. You're building short-term money that's just, you're going to get burned out. Like, it happened to me also. Like, you can have amazing skills in sales, but you can't get the trust from somebody in 1 day. You could do that before, but the trust, like, nobody trusts agency owners today. There is so many scammers. So although your sales skills could be on the highest level, you could, have the best framework, the best objection handling tactics, whatever. But when people join, they're still hesitant. They join because you push them, but then they are nightmare clients. They don't trust you. They're like in panic mode. They gave a lot of money up front. So you're going to have a nightmare with them. And they will probably leave. So the long-term result nobody is aware of when you're running this funnel is the asset of audience. As I mentioned before, some people buy now, immediately after they follow you or they DM you. And some people will need 1 year to be convinced to buy from you. And usually those people are the best clients. They've been watching your stories, they've been watching your results for 1 year. When they decide to join, they are there, like they're your admirers. They're so easy to work with. The longer you run the funnel, the more clients you are going to have. And more importantly, the more high quality clients you will have. As I said now, they follow you for 1 year. They are just amazing clients. It's so enjoyable to work with them. Like I actually, right now, I enjoy running my agency. Before I was thinking of quitting because it was just, the clients were so hard. Like all day the phone was ringing. If 2 days went by and the lead count for day kind of went down, I get messages, hey, Tony, why it's not working? Like, oh my God. But I have clients now that don't have, they have sometimes worse results when we speak about the numbers, but they're much more happy. They're much more willing to go through the process that I tell them. Like you actually have to call the lead, you have to do everything. So they get better results because they trust the system. So different than before. So I don't even consider shutting down my agency now. Like it's so easy to run. With a Faceless funnel, you don't need to go viral. You just need the right followers. So even with 20 followers, you can close clients and you can get trust from them. You don't need to run a personal brand. You can get trust Faceless because they see your results every day and they follow you because of your offer. They don't follow you because you're pretty. They don't follow you because they're interested in how you do your life, like what do you do in your daily life. They just want to see that you can actually deliver the offer, deliver the results that you mention on your ads. You don't need to do sales calls. You can sell with your content and just chat with people in DMs and replace sales calls with DM qualification, just chatting with people there. You don't need a complicated funnel also. You're going to see the funnel, like it has literally 3 steps. So you just need a clean flow of 3 steps. We're going to go into that in a second. You don't need to call more prospects. So no cold outreach. You just need a system that generates you qualified inbound leads on autopilot. So imagine having every day like new 3 leads. The DM you first, like the inbound leads. They saw your ad, interested in your offer, and they just DM'd you. They didn't book a call, so you don't have to convince them of anything. You just chat with them. Or they followed you. So you also just say, hey, start some chat, just be interested in their business. It's a different funnel than just having booked calls from people that you don't even know. They don't know you. The show up rate is like, it's slim. Although you have those automations of maybe emails blasting to warm them up, I try that also. It also doesn't help so much. They're still really cool people, you never chat with them, right? The reason I hit chill 10K per month is because the funnel does the work for me daily. My calendar is clean. Like I literally for 1 year didn't have any sales calls. My DMs make people warm. That's the goal for you too. So replace sales calls completely with DMs. You can reply on your own time. People can reply on their own time. And it's really just, you can sit at home and type and point people to this post. They see the results. Like it's such an enjoyable funnel to run. So that's the Faceless 1% funnel. Let's go into it. It has 3 simple steps. The way that you get new leads, the way that you nurture them, and the way that you convert them into paying clients. So when we speak about the new leads, we use Instagram ads and we use follow ads and lead generation DM ads. I'm gonna show you that as we move forward. After you get the new leads, they enter this nurturing phase, which is a bit longer than in any other funnel. But because of that, we have people that we retain for much longer, right? The MRR is much longer. So those 10K per month, you can actually sign 7-8 people, depending on your prices, right? You can sign 10 people for 1K per month. And you can sign them in the first 3 months. You can shut off the ads and you can stay on that. You don't have to run ads, right? You can, the retention is going to be there. So every month, if you sign, let's say 3 people and they actually stay inside, in 3 months, you can have 10K, right? If the price is that low, if the price is just 1K. Moving on, the nurturing phase. We use stories and reels. We use 1 to 3 stories per day to show our results, to explain the system a little bit more, to just show how it is to be our clients. And then on reels, we just speak about the pain points and the desires of our ideal customers, right? Whoever follows us, he's going to see the things that he has in mind from problems in business or the desires. He's going to see those things because we did the analysis. I'm also going to show you that, like how to know your ideal client. Based on that, you create the ads, you create the content, you create the daily stories. Everything is based on that. The last part is a conversion phase where we sell in DMs, right? So we qualify people in DMs, we ask them questions, and if we see they're a good fit, then we just either send them a VSL, we send them the offer in a message in DM, or in some cases you jump on a sales call. But at that point, it's actually not a sales call, right? Because they already know the price, they know the system, and you can just jump on a call and speak with people and explain them a little bit more what it is all about, right? So if I answer the calls, let's say in that way, from leads, that's more like an onboarding call because I never jump on calls if they don't know the price. So they know the price, they've seen the system, they've been following me for some time, and only then I do the calls. So it's like if you agree to go on a call with me and you know the price, I'm probably going to close it, so I'm going to take that call. Okay, but it's not the pressure of a sales call. So that's the funnel. It really looks simple, but it solves the number one reason most funnels fail, and that is the lack of trust. People don't buy from someone they don't trust. And no matter how good your offer is, and no matter how much you spend on your ads, if they don't trust you, they will not buy from you. So we expanded the part of nurturing. They see that there is no pressure to sell them. And they feel more relaxed. They feel not pushed into sale. And then they get to do that on their own pace. And then you DM them a little bit, they watch the stories. And then somebody in 7 days, somebody in 1 month, they decide to work with you. So that's it, that's the funnel. So the basic principle is we pay to get ideal clients as followers or as inbound DMs. And then we use organic content to nurture them. Finally, DMs to sell them. That is why there is no need to go viral or have a big audience. Even with 20 followers, as I said before, you can close deals if they are qualified. And the question is now, of course, do they actually buy from profiles with 20 followers? And well, Samuel's example is a perfect example. So he had 21 follower, new niche, no results in that niche, right? He had like 0 testimonials. He was still able to close 4-month contract. He made, what was it, like 1K? So it was 4K, right? So yes, it is possible. So this is how you go from this completely booked schedule, no free time, to this. Just a lot of DMs, a lot of people following you, just running it as a personal brand, literally. Trust in 2025 is at all-time low. So why regular funnels don't work so well anymore? Because trust has dropped dramatically. So cold traffic problem is they push ads to total strangers. So people click, they look around, they don't feel anything, there is no credibility. If they go book a call, it's going to be really cold. So you demand out of people too much. You demand too much out of cold prospect. You do that pushy sales call. So they book calls too soon. Like they're not ready to book sales call yet. Like people feel pressured. And people who do that, maybe sometimes they ghost you or they say, I'll think about it. And in some cases, you sign them up, you handle the objections, but then they are nightmare clients. And then your agency is a mess. You don't want to do that. Problem of hard selling also, like they chase people instead of attracting them. So if you're running the funnel of pushing directly for a sales call, you're chasing people in some way, in this new mindset, right? It feels needy, it feels desperate. Like if you're immediately pushing, people buy because of pressure and not because of conviction. Like that's going to be an issue in the future. Maybe you're going to get the money now, but the issue is going to be the low retention rate and a low MRR and constant chasing of new clients because people jump out. So instead of pushing, what we do with this Faceless 1% funnel is we pull people inside. We make them feel that they're a part of this new, let's say, brand. So Faceless profile, it feels clean, it feels clear. It's positioned like an expert resource. It's not a desperate salesperson. It is just like, hey, you came in for the offer. I'm going to show you that I can deliver on that offer. So in the ads, we are asking for people to follow us or to DM us. not to go for a sales call. And there is no sales pressure. If I get people who follow me or who DM me and they ask me immediately, can we jump on a call? Like I literally say no. Like you don't know anything about me. Like I don't want to spend 2 hours explaining you something and then you tell me I have $50 to invest, or like I'm not really sure. I need to look. Like no, you're not gonna have my 2 hours. Here is the pin post. Look at it. Here is my VSL. Look at it. Here is the profile. Go check it out. Go see the price if you really like, just want to do that now. And then you come back. In most cases, people who immediately ask for a call, they just wanted to know the price. And after they learn the price, they just ghost you. They leave, right? So I would rather just send them the price immediately to that pushy and not waste 2 hours than sit on a call for 2 hours explaining something to them and then being just, those 2 hours are gone. And you're drained because that was just like it drains all of your energy if you're with somebody trying to convince him, but they know nothing about you, about your service, about your results, past results. They don't trust the results even if you have them. So it's easier for me just to send them, hey, this is what I have. And then if the price is okay, and that also happens in some cases, you send people immediately. Like I'm going a little bit broad here, but let me just give you some examples. Sometimes I send people directly to my VSL, where it's like literally my sales call. My pitch is recorded. They see the price and they go immediately, okay, I want to buy. That also happens, but it's so rare. It happened to me like 4 times maybe. So after the ads, after you get people to DM you or to follow you, you get to the part of content. This content doesn't beg for sales. It just warms people up daily. It does this micro trust deposits. So I'm not selling them on the final offer. I'm selling them that I can deliver the offer, just building trust. I'm selling them the trust. That's how you can think about it. And then the final part is DM flow. Only people who already trust you bother to DM you. They answer your DMs and they're already halfway sold because they've been following you, right? They've seen that you can actually deliver something. So try to think about this. Like if you were a business owner and you had 2 choices to invest in some agency, and you have 2 agencies. The first agency has an amazing offer. You saw their ads. It looked like guarantees, money back, whatever. And then on day 1, you're already sitting on a sales call with that person. And they want you to give $2,000 upfront. Would you take that? Or you see the other agency. He has a realistic offer, nothing flashy. There is no guarantee actually. I don't do guarantees. You saw their ad, you followed them, you had a chat with them in DMs. You saw there's like a normal, like nothing too salesy, like they didn't try to sell you. You saw stories daily for 5 days with results. You've seen the way that they work. You skim through their profile a little bit for 5 days, right? You see they open 3 new spots for this month. And they message you, hey, we've been chatting. Do you want to jump in for this 3 spots? It's $2,000 upfront. Which offer would you take? What would be easier for you to take? $2,000 immediately first day with the guarantee, or no guarantee, realistic offer, but you've seen for 5 days they actually can deliver. When I think about it, maybe you're different, but I would rather take the second agency because I've seen for 5 days, like the conviction part, and I've taken it, right? I've convinced myself, they could think that you can deliver, right? Here they are convincing you, like you're on a sales call, they're telling you, we are amazing, we have this crazy results, we can guarantee you, but here you do that for yourself. So they present you with stories, they present you with, they DM you, you can skim through the profile, but there is no pressure. You go and investigate on your own. And then you get to the conclusion. And then once they pitch you something, once they tell you, hey, do you want to join? It's much easier, right? There is no pushy feeling in your mind. It's something I think it's going to be much more important as we move on now. Like it's 2025. It's going to be more and more of that as we move forward, especially with AI now and all that stuff. Trust is why people buy from you or why they ghost you. Right. So if people ghost you, you also have to think about and consider, are you doing something wrong? Well, the 1% funnel makes trust automatic. So you never have to beg, you never have to chase, you never have to push for that sales call, for the sale. And that's why it works for agencies, it works for freelancers, it works for high ticket services, without cold calls, without cold outreach, without sales call, without anything. It's just like putting content out there, making them trust you, and then selling in DMs. So let's do a mini recap. Regular funnels, they rush to pitch, the trust is really low, and the results are unpredictable. If you even close somebody, the MRR results are unpredictable. So they do ad, they book a call, and they close. What we do with the 1% funnel is we warm them first, and then we pitch later. The trust is much higher, and the sales feels calm. Again, here is the funnel. Like you have new leads coming in from the ads, you nurture them with stories and reels, and then conversions happens inside of DMs. If you skip this part, here is the reality. You can run all the ads that you want. You can build your shiny offer. But people, if they don't trust you, they will not buy, right? This funnel fixes that forever. But only if you actually build it in a way that I'm about to show you. Like, that's it. Just follow everything that I have inside of this course because it has been tested. Whoever I saw that was following things but tried to add some tweaks into that, they didn't have success. Because if you are trying to learn from me, just try everything as I'm running it. See is it working for you, and then you can tweak it. But don't tweak it immediately because you're not going to have any results. So now that you've seen why this all works, while everything else keeps failing and it's going to fail in the future, let's build your version step by step. Next up, let's talk about crafting your high trust offer. If your funnel doesn't work, your ads don't convert, or your DMs are empty, I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, it's not the funnel, it's the offer. All right, let's talk about the offer. Let's talk about why this is non-negotiable. Most profitable businesses you see online don't win because they have luck, they have fancy tools, or they have better ads. They win because they have an offer people can't ignore. That's just the first step, but if you don't have the offer well, nothing else in the future of the funnel is going to work. And I'm not talking about these irresistible Alex Hormozy offers with crazy guarantees, money back, give you an additional 1,000 if we fail, whatever. I mean clear, boring, believable promises people say yes to without thinking twice, right? If you say you're going to deliver like 100 jobs in 1 month, but they know that they can get just 5, let's say in a construction business, which is my niche, like it's unreasonable. Like you can't go too much. Like it has to be reasonable for people to be like, okay, they're not full of shit. Like let's try and see like this is believable. And how do I know this? I've seen it over and over again with my clients for first. So I run a lead generation agency and I work with construction companies. I've seen construction businesses that couldn't crack 2K per month until we reframed their offer. And now they close 300K deals. I've literally helped people to close 300K deals just from my ads, just by positioning the offer in a proper way and by, running the ads and showing them online. But still, like the offer was different. It wasn't just, hey, waiting for referrals. Like, no, we have this and this is special. And it's a crazy change. Also, other agency owners stuck at freelancer income, one offer fix, they now have a consistent 10 to 20K months. I even had a client who was stuck. He literally had 0 clients. He couldn't figure out how to position the offer. Once we fixed the offer, we started the ads. He was in a real estate niche and he did those deals with people where he gets a percentage of deals closed. So he had a retainer, and then after somebody closes a deal, he gets like 2%, whatever it was. So he scaled at one point to 60K, like after 4 months of running the funnel. Same thing, just from the offer. So if the offer wasn't well, nobody will follow him, nobody will DM him, nothing will happen, right? So it all starts with the offer. And finally, my own agency. Like I have a same service for 3 years now. I just framed it a little bit different in the offer part, and the clients doubled overnight. I'm going to speak about that later on. Let me actually say it right now. So before I had the offer of construction companies get 1 to 3 leads per day. And what I was getting broke construction company owners. They just had one employee, maybe none, maybe just like 2, 3. They were stingy because they didn't have enough money. So although I had 10 leads per day, I had this issue of like I couldn't close them because they were broke. I couldn't do anything with them. Although they were, construction companies and everything, but it wasn't working well. So I did this one switch in my offer where I said I work with established construction companies and I get them 1 to 3 leads per day. So everything stayed the same except for my calling out of a niche, like the sub niche of my niche, just speaking to the rich people of my niche. Boom, overnight, everything changed. Like literally, I was starting to get half a number of leads that I was getting before. For example, I had 10 leads, but now I have 5 leads, but they were all companies with 20 plus employees that I could actually do the work with, right? So it's like offer is everything. Without it, you can't move further. It's like a first bottleneck. If your offer doesn't work, nothing will afterwards. What will we cover now? We're going to speak about why your service is not your offer and why most people confuse the two, how to deeply understand your buyers, the niching down, how to get inside their heads, how to pick who not to work with, the difference between broke leads and premium, and how to actually get to the premium leads, the story that I just shared, how to craft an offer with numbers and certainty so people actually click on your ads and they get interested in the offer you have. I'm going to give you a simple plug and play statement which you can use to make your own offer. I'm going to give you a quick exercise so you can have your version done today. Let's speak about why most offers fail. Well, most freelancers talk about what they do instead of what clients get. It's a mistake I see every time I start a collaboration with somebody, either one-on-one or I just chat with people or I see them on their profiles. They say we do ads. So what? We do websites. Who cares that you do websites? Nobody cares what your service is. Buyers don't buy your effort. They don't care how much time you spend, how many hours you do the website. Like they don't care about that. They buy a clear result. If your offer is generic and vague, people will ghost you. They will just scroll past. They don't care. Let me give you one big mindset shift. Your offer is a result of your service delivery expressed in numbers. So I never say I do Facebook ads. I say I'm going to get you 1 to 3 leads per day. Right. And like you see, like I don't say just leads. I say I have numbers and I have time frame. And I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing for your own service. So first of all, before you create the offer, you have to deeply understand your buyers. And there is no shortcut here. If you skip this part, you won't get your offer well and everything else breaks. So the funnel won't work. Nothing will work. You won't even be able to book calls if this part sucks for you. So here are some key questions you can ask yourself to learn about your audience. Who do you want to help? So the industry, the size, the budget, so who is that? Who is that ideal client? Who you don't want, right? Broke freelancers, tiny mom, pop shops, like low budget, something, whatever. Think about your niche now. Like if your niche is broke and they usually like their products, their services are less than $500, you probably don't want to work with them. Maybe that's the edge. Like if they make per one sale $500, that's fine. But everything below, it's going to be a nightmare to deliver everything, at least in my experience. Then think about what keeps them up at night. So after you have these two answered, what keeps them up at night? Like what problems are urgent for them? Like what's something they can, put aside, but what's something that's really bothering them? Then you can ask yourself, what are they afraid will happen if they don't fix that? You see, it's going like you have to have the answers to every previous one to answer the next one. And what results do they brag about to their friends and peers? Profits, calls, leads, speed, bigger projects, whatever. Let me give you my examples. So as I said, I run this lead generation agency for construction companies. So who do I want to help? I want to help construction companies. And who I don't want. I don't want small startup construction companies. So you can say here that I want to help already established construction companies. When you think about what keeps them up at night, unpredictability of the next projects. So they have huge companies, right? And the way that I know this is by just speaking to them and asking them. I don't know this just by, thinking. They have a lot of workers, so they have to know that the next paycheck will be able to be delivered to all of their workers. So because of that, they need to have predictable projects for the next 6 months, right? And if they're just reliant on referrals, it's a bit hard. So they do need some lead generation. What are they afraid will happen if they don't fix it? They won't be able to pay their employees and the company goes away. What results do they brag about to their friends? They brag about big closed deals, qualified deals, big projects. It's all to think about, right? It's all to consider, to put in your offer and to put in your content afterwards. So you can't guess this. You have to ask them. You have to listen, you have to read reviews, you have to stalk forums. The better you know them, the easier sales become. And everything from offer to running everything afterwards. So you want to niche down. Specific always beats broad. So broad gives you cheap leads, but unqualified leads. And a specific niche down offer creates high trust and gets people with higher budgets because they're just actually speaking to the right people. So if you just say like, I help service businesses, which I tried at the beginning, I was getting cleaning services. I was getting people that just have no businesses. It's like they're trying to think about something. They're trying to start a business. But when I say I help establish construction companies, normal construction companies won't even sign. The only people who DM me and follow me are bigger companies. Let me give an example here. So bad is I help construction companies. Bad is also I help service-based businesses. Bad is I help professionals to get more money. All of that is bad. That doesn't mean anything. You're targeting nobody. What better is I help establish construction companies with 20 plus staff members to get 1 to 3 new qualified leads daily. You see how this is completely different than just construction companies, right? It's much broader. There's much more elements. And I'm going to show you how you can create this for yourself, for your offer, for your niche. In order to protect your time, you have to think about who you don't want to work with. So how can you get to that established that I have for yourself? So broke businesses that want discounts, you don't want them. The tire kickers who say, I need to ask my wife, budget is too high, whatever, you don't want to work with them. Also startups with zero budget, you don't want to work with them. So you have to figure out for your niche, who are they? What part of your niche are broke ones? And you have to figure out who are the rich ones and then speak just to the rich ones. Add some adjectives to your niche. So as for myself, establish construction companies. Find a way to do that for your own niche. And you're going to get much better leads with buying power, right? That's important. One great tweak to have is to add a qualifier to your niche. As I said now, I'm mentioning this all the time because this literally changed my business. I help establish construction companies. That one single word changed the entire lead quality overnight for me. Literally overnight. Like one night, everything was different. Just by one word. And you can find a word for yourself also. And also doesn't have to be just established. This worked for me, but I'm guessing that there are other words that could work. For example, like big construction companies or developed construction companies or construction companies with 10 plus years of experience, This is just from top of my head. When you're using numbers and having tangible promises, this is literally the trust secret. So buyers want a mental picture. Like they want something tangible. So more sales is too vague. 1 to 3 qualified leads daily, that's real. Another example, better engagement. That's literally nothing. It means nothing. 30% more sales in 45 days. That's money. That means something, right? Numbers build trust. It's boring, but clear. And that always wins, right? So boring numbers, realistic numbers, not just like, not low numbers, but something you can deliver on. That always wins. Numbers always win. Service literally never wins. So now you want to know your clients in soul. And the way that you do that is by learning these 3 things about them. And you can write them down. Who is your ideal client, right? Knowing all of this before that we mentioned, who is your ideal client? You're going to list 3 biggest desires your ideal client has, keeping in mind to speak to premium leads and not to broke ones. And now list of 3 biggest problems your ideal client faces. Let me give an example for me. Established construction companies, desires is more projects, secure schedule, bigger projects. And the problems is not enough projects, not sure when next project is going to come, and small projects, right? Now the final thing you want to be asking yourself is how you can connect your service delivery to your ideal client. And to ask yourself is how can your service delivery help? Well, it can get them more leads, more live appointments, more qualified leads, right? It's kind of the same thing, but it's, let's say, more, I don't know, closed jobs, whatever. And now add numbers on top of that. So the more numbers you have, more leads you will create because people love to see the numbers. It brings much more realistic picture in their mind. You're painting the future for them when you're using numbers. So my offer is 1 to 3 leads per day. I've tested a week, I've tested a month, but daily works the best. You can have, for example, 15 live appointments in 30 days. That's also something I can offer. I never did, but I'm guessing that would also work, right? Or 40 qualified leads per month. Just depends what works. What works in your country, what works in your niche. You have to test out these offers to see which one is going to stick for your specific niche, for that premium leads that you have. So let me give you a simple offer statement which you can plug and play and keep in your mind always so that you know with who you work with. It's really simple. I help the niche to get results in a time frame. Let me give an example. I help established construction companies to get 1 to 3 qualified leads daily. Or I help B2B coaches to book 10 high-ticket calls in 30 days. It's easy. So you just have to know your niche. Based on your niche, you know which results they want, and then just tweak and test these time frames. So results and time frame, you have to figure out which one will work the best. And you're going to use this on your ads. You have to know the niche. You have to crack this. You have to connect your service delivery with the results that matches their wishes and their desires, their problems, and then add a time frame and test it out and see which one is going to work. Let me give you a real example that service is not your offer and how people mistake this. I never say I do Facebook ads for construction companies. Never works. Nobody likes ads. Nobody likes Facebook. They don't care, right? I always say I help established construction companies to get 1 to 3 leads daily. I rarely mention Facebook ads. Sometimes I mention it only after they buy, right? Or I vaguely mention it just so they know, like it's not Google ads, it's not, some shared leads, it's Facebook, but we're going to get you 1 to 3 leads. Like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the budget. Just worry, like, we're going to get you 1 to 3 leads. If people try to ask me more questions about the Facebook ads, how I run campaigns, how I do things inside, like, no, you don't care about that. But I do that, of course, politely. Most important thing that you have to know is that we're going to get you 1 to 3 leads per day. Is that what you want? Yes. Don't worry, that's going to be delivered. That's it, right? The more they go into the trying to figure out how you do Facebook ads, the more you're going to push them away. They're going to be nightmare clients, in my experience. So they don't care about Facebook. They don't care about Instagram or my secret strategy, right? They don't care about that. They only care about the leads. And that's the offer. The how is for later, after they buy. Then you explain, then you enter that. After they pay you, then you could go into the details. Then you have to go into details. So let me give you a quick exercise here. Build your own now. So don't skip this part. I know it's a bit hard. You have to do a little bit of brainstorming here, but I hope I've given you enough incentive to go and push and find those premium leads of yours, right? Premium part of your niche. It's not enough just to have a niche. It's not enough to speak to professionals that want more sales. It's not enough even to have construction companies established. We need to have attached on top of that to make this work the best for you. So this is all pre-work that you have to do, but it's gonna be really, really lucrative for you in the long run. So write down your buyer, be really specific, write the painful problem that you can solve, write a clear result with number or a time frame, And then combine it into this, I help who to get results in a time frame. Ugly is fine at the beginning. Don't worry, you can refine it later. So one more time, if your offer is crystal clear, everything else becomes easier. Your profile converts strangers, your ads don't waste money. Your funnel moves people naturally from curious to closed because they trust you can deliver exactly what you promised. And this is like just a combination of what the funnel actually does. If you miss this step, you will keep blaming your funnel forever. You will keep blaming the processes, the funnels, not just this funnel, but every funnel. But if you nail this step right, you will finally feel in control of your income and in control of your business. Now that you have the offer that your buyers can't ignore, I hope you did everything by now. I hope you're gonna do that. Let's set up your Faceless profile to sell that offer for you 24/7. If you ever thought, I don't want to do a personal brand, well, good news, you don't have to run a personal brand to close some deals. But if you ever thought, I don't want to run any kind of profile, well, think again. This single Instagram page is your entire website, trust builder, funnel starter, and deal closer. It's basically all in one. It's time to speak about a faceless Instagram business brand, the profile setup, how to actually make it work for yourself. What are the parts? We're going to go into that right now. So I want to speak about why this matters more than most people think. Well, clients don't buy from fancy personal brands. They buy from a clear authority. And this is especially true if you're selling done-for-you services to other business owners. People usually prefer working with an actual business and not some random freelancer's face, right? You can say that you're an agency owner, you have a team behind you, but you're still like a freelancer in their minds. And I know this, it's a little bit weird to even hear because I've tested this for myself. Like the way that I got to this faceless funnel is because I've been running personal brand for my agency. I tried that for 2 months. Everything was the same as now. The only difference was I showed my face. Same words, same messaging, everything was the same. But people seem to not want to work with a young person as I am. They wanted to work with the actual agency. So I just switched that. So I switched my content from showing my face to not showing my face, to showing something connected to their niche. By having the same messaging, same words, it seemed to be working much, much better, as you can see, because I'm creating this course. It all came from unsuccessful personal brand for done-for-you service. And it's also much different if you are offering coaching, consulting, something like that, then personal brand makes sense. But if you're clear, done for your service, the agency seems more credible, if that's even a word. Like it seems much more professional. It seems like a big company and people tend to trust them more. So your profile is your online storefront. It's a credibility badge and it's your funnel entrance. We don't have websites anymore. Like nobody has, like some other businesses do, but everything is on Instagram now. So having this profile set up in a proper way is literally your face. It's literally your website. You can think about it in that way. If you skip this or you do it poorly, you'll waste every ad dollar and every DM attempt will lead to nowhere, right? If you even get followers, if you even get DMs and your profile is not set up well, they will not respond to you anymore. They will not watch your stories. They will not be engaged. So this has to be set up in a proper way. What will we cover here in this whole module? Why a profile is better than a personal brand for done-for-you agencies, although I mentioned that already. How your faceless profile quietly sells trust. The 5 must-have parts of every faceless profile. Handle, name, bio, highlights, and pin posts. Quick real-life examples. Do's and don'ts that separate amateurs from professionals. And how to use your profile as 24/7 trust machine. So first of all, why you don't need a personal brand. And went over that in second before, but let's go again. So forget about blogging, vlogging, daily selfies, or being an influencer. In this space of done-for-you businesses, they don't care. Clients don't care. They care about results. They don't care about your face. They don't care about your gym selfies. your dog's breakfast, your walks, your daily walks, your routine. Like, they don't care. Like, they're selfish. It's a business transaction. They don't care who you are. The only thing they want to know that there is actual person behind. And if you post daily, there is obviously a person behind, but it's a professional, right? It's a professional company. Business is really selfish. The only reason why they followed you, the only reason why I DM'd you is because they are interested in the offer that you can deliver. It's nothing else, right? If you keep it that way, it's going to work much better. It's going to be much more clearer, right? You can show that there is a person behind just by running the funnel every day, posting stories every day. And also, if you want to add this part where you want to show there is an actual person behind, you can just use the screenshots for, you can use your working lifestyle, your laptop, to present it as a story coverage, right? So they can see like there is somebody behind. What they care about is, can I trust this company to solve my problem fast and professional, right? Always have this in mind when you think about what to post and what not to post. They come to you because of your offer. They only care about the offer. And the only thing your profile has to do is to make them sure, make them convinced even more, create the trust that you can deliver on their offer. Nothing else. That's it. So done for you. Clients prefer legit looking businesses. They don't want a guy or a girl to run their personal brand. Like, they don't care about that. They 100% don't care. Like, these are serious business owners. I'm speaking from my experience from these construction company owners. Like, they don't want to see your life. Just want to see, can you deliver on the offer? And now I'm really nailing this here, because this is like a thing that I learned the hard way. It didn't work, and that was the reason why I created this funnel and the reason why it works. A clean, faceless profile looks bigger, looks more credible. Now I know that word exists. And less risky than a random freelancer. So instead of chasing personal brand clouds, build a profile that works like a landing page. That's exactly it, like a landing page. So they followed you because they liked your offer. Your profile should be a testament that you can deliver on the offer. So your profile is like a website, a funnel, and a trust machine, like all that together. Everything, it's everything in one combination. So people land here first. Before they ever DM you, they land here. Or after they finish the DM form, if you're running the lead generation DM ads. We're going to go into that in a second. It pre-sells them on your credibility, right? It answers what they do. Do they have a proof that it works? And how do I start? Okay, if it's clear, you're going to get daily DMs. If it's messy, you're going to lose your leads forever. And anybody who DMs you like an inbound lead that comes to your profile, he will not be reactive. He will not watch your stories. He'll probably block you or whatever. This is a screenshot of my Faceless agency brand. I blurred it for obvious reasons. I don't want you to copy everything. I don't want you to go there spam me or whatever. So that's for paid stuff, right? For paid community, anybody working one-on-one with me. First of all, you want to have a professional logo here. You can make it in Canva. It's really easy. Just don't have your face there, and don't have some stupid graphics. Have clean colors. Anything in Canva is going to be good. Find some tutorials online to see how a logo can be made. Just don't make it look childish. Second thing is description below the professional logo. So what do you do and who do you help? You're basically having your offer displayed here. So the sentence that you created before, I help construction companies to get 1 to 3 leads per day. That's what you have here. That's basically like to show in short your offer again. Then you have this link, and the link that I have is linked to the landing page. You can have this to be, I've tested this to be 2 different things. It's either a link to the landing page where I have my VSL, or it's comment the word or DM me the word, something to brainstorm the plan for you. I tried that, but landing page works better for me, so I stayed on that. Speaking about this story highlights, called it sales funnel, I'm going to explain in a short what that means. You can have results, you can have testimonials, and your system broken down. And the reason why I say it's a sales funnel is because when I'm chatting with people in DMs, when I'm either qualifying them or trying to sell them something, I use these results here, testimonials, to send people from DMs to here. So it helps my sales process, right? Because if I send them to the result page, the result post, whatever, to make them sure, to show them like, hey, we actually have results, they're going to continue clicking on all other results, testimonials. They're going to watch everything. So it kind of helps in my sales. So I don't have to do that on a pitch. For example, before on sales calls, I can just do that here. And the last one is pinned videos funnel. And it's also a funnel because I'm going to get into that in a second. First pin post is who are you? Actually, who is the agency? What is the agency? So what are your principles? How do you work? Who do you work with? Something basic about you. Then the second one is your special system. Every time I'm creating an offer and creating something for when I'm trying to teach somebody how to run their business, let's say for one-on-one, I always tell them to name their service delivery in a specific way. I named my lead generation system from lead to a client. And then I explain here how I do that and why am I better than anything else that they see. And by naming your service delivery, in like just giving it a name, it immediately separates you from all other lead generation agencies because they just do lead generation. You have a lead to client system and it shows it's something different. And I just explain inside why am I better than anything else that they see. The last one is my best testimonial. For example, one business owner, construction company, closed $2 million deal from my lead, and lead was €5. So that's there, so they can see. The reason why I named this pinned videos funnel is because when I do my DM qualification, again, when I'm trying to sell, before I send them to my VSL or before I show them my price, I send them to this special system pin post. And I say, this is what we do. Does this make sense for you? So all of these things, as you can see, that I have on my profile, I'm using as I'm trying to sell in my DMs, right? So this is like, when you're running sales calls, you have your presentation, right? You have your pitch, you have your questions, you have, testimonials and everything. Well, this is a sales page for me. So I use these random things like must-have parts of my profile to sell slowly. Because we sell in DMs, you don't have to have it on a presentation. You can have it here displayed. And you can slowly feed people to your system and how it works. This is one other example of other agency owners running a funnel. I'm not gonna, again, for obvious reason, I'm not gonna show you who this is, what is the profile, but I wanted to show you like there is other agency owners that run it in exact same way. And these are mostly people that I coach one-on-one, but I also seen some people that try to copy the system from my other YouTube videos here. So let's do a mini reality check. This is for you. Are you leaking trust when you run this funnel? So once you set up the profile, grab your phone, look at your profile like you're a total stranger. So give it one day, like set this all up, set all of these parts, give it one day and then check it out how it feels. Would you trust you? If you landed on your profile, would you trust you? Would you DM you? If not, fix it that night. This is your silent sales rep working 24/7 while you are asleep. People get a chance to go through your profile on their own time. So it has to be set up properly. Everything has to be in place. People usually think that faceless kind of means hiding. It's actually, in this case, it's clarity. So you're not hiding, you're positioning yourself to put the offer in the front place, right? Not yourself as a person, but the offer, and making sure that people trust the offer. You control the trust points. So you have a clean brand, you have a clear bio, proof highlights, pin posts, everything is there for a reason. This works better than a personal brand for most service-based businesses. Again, I'm not speaking about if you do coaching, consulting, whatever. I'm just speaking about doing done for you service. If you have an agency and you're done for your thing. Faceless brings much more clarity. So the only reason why people are there is for your offer. So all your profile is set up in a way that it positions your offer for gaining more trust and finally getting more clients in. So you don't have to be famous. You don't need daily selfies. What you do need is a profile that makes people trust you instantly, whether to say trust your offer. So they DM you instead of your competitors. And they will DM competitors if your profile sucks, right? So this is your website, this is your funnel, this is your proof machine. It's all in one. Get this right, and the rest will work naturally. Now that your profile is trust magnet, let's feed it with actual people. Next, I'm going to show you how to run simple ads and direct offers so you start getting real leads daily. So this is where your funnel gets its fuel. This is where the magic starts to happen. Your offer is ready, your faceless profile is set, and your funnel is mapped. Now, the question is, how do you get real paying buyers into it every day without 24/7 posting or spamming people inside of DMs doing some sort of cold outreach? Well, you run ads, but not the way that most people run them. Okay, let's speak about direct offer ads. Why is this different and why does it work? Like, these ads will be different than what you've seen before. So most ads do one thing wrong, one big thing. It's they try to sell immediately. For example, book a call now. Here is my process. Just book a call, let's have a chat. This kills trust with cold strangers immediately. Why would they book a call with you? Like, you have a good offer, you have nice ads. Why would they book a call? Maybe if they see your ad 20 times, they are going to book a call. But wouldn't you rather to see the ad first time and follow you immediately or DM you? So no calls, like no, just follow me. This is what we're going to do. So most people run ads to calls and they wonder why it fails. These days, people tend to run away from calls. They don't trust you. The same thing again, like trust is at all times low. People are starting to enter business that are younger that tend to run away from calls, especially with strangers. If you get used to somebody, like if you're following somebody for some time, jumping on a call with them, it's easy. But I feel it for myself. Like if I see a good offer and the way to get to those people is to book a call. Sometimes like I don't want some ads I see for 2 months and then I'm like, okay, maybe I can book a call. That's 2 months. If they had an offer where I can DM them and have a chat, they will probably close me faster. So we run ads to our profile and we get DMs from people. So we get trust first, and then we do sales later. This is why even new profiles win. You're not asking of them to give you money upfront. You're not asking for anything other than follow or DM, right? Just answer a few questions inside of DMs. Nobody's running it this way. I've seen people running retargeting ads to do DMs. I've seen personal brands running follow ads, like that's a normal thing to do. But faceless brand to do the follow ads and to run it as a personal brand, I've never seen that. And it's working like crazy, literally like crazy. You've seen the results before. Here it is, like Samuel was able to do this with such a low following. So he had 21 followers, and in 3 days running these type of ads, he was able to close 1K deal. Actually, later on, it was 4 months contract. 21 follower. Can you imagine that? It's just insane that it works. It's insane. And that's not a personal brand. It's faceless. There was no proof before. He had no success stories before. 3 days of a new funnel. 3 days of a new niche. And it works. Our ads don't have a purpose to sell. They send people to your profile to check you out, to feel trust. Or they invite them to DM you directly to speak about the offer on the ads, right? But still not selling, it's just DMs. The goal is not an instant sale. The goal is to hook them and to warm them up properly. So you want to invite them to your ecosystem. We are going to nurture them forever. That's it. So once somebody follows you, rarely people unfollow you. Unless you spam them and you're boring, they will be there. They will watch all your stories. And it's an interesting thing that 90% of my followers watch the stories. That's wild. For my personal brand, I have 30% of my followers watching the stories, and that's, those are good numbers. Usually I think it's like 5% of your followers actually watch the stories. But here is 90%. 90% of my followers watch the stories, especially if you do them every day. If you skip some days, and some days like you have like those weeks where you don't post anything, then the views for the stories drop down, but it's like 90%. The real closing happens later on. In your daily stories and in your DMs is where trust happens and where the closing happens. The ad is just the door to come in. What will we cover in this module? The core principle. The ads to drive profile visits and DMs, not to do the sales calls. Why this attracts serious buyers for done-for-you service. The two type of ads that I use, profile visit ads and lead generation DM ads. The right mindset, so your offer and call to action are what makes this work. What not to do with your budget. Where the ad structure comes in. So I'm going to show you how these look. And I'll show you the outline, literally how you can create your own ad in 5 minutes if you did all the steps before properly. Most ads fail because they are trying to sell too early. It's not the ads that fail, but it's call to action is too early for somebody that's cold. So regular ads push for a cold stranger to book a call or to read a landing page and then book a call. Even worse. The problem is cold buyers don't trust you yet. Although they may need your service, they may like your offer, they still don't trust you. And that's going to go down, more down and down as years go by. The problem is that cold buyers don't trust you yet. So they ghost you, they waste your time, or they never show up. It's a common thing that happens. Although they might be interested in the offer you have, although you pinpointed them in a proper way, the trust is really low currently. And to expect somebody to just book a call with you, they never seen you before, and to actually show up at that time, that's not going to happen. Although you have those email sequences that you maybe like automatically send to them, it still doesn't. Maybe it gets 10% up the show up rate, but still it's not enough. So the result is money being burned. The leads are bad. And then you blame the funnel. And the problem is those leads, if you don't close them immediately and they don't trust you and they've seen the price you went through this whole sales call, they're gone forever. You can't get them back. It just doesn't work. If you do the pitching too early, they're gone forever. No matter how many email sequences you send afterwards, no matter how many follow-ups you do, no, it won't happen. Rarely happens. So our method flips that. We run ads that make business owners curious enough to click on the profile, or we invite them to DM us for the clear offer that we have. Once they're in, your profile builds trust, stories warm them up, and then you close them in DMs. That's the funnel. So I'm going to show you two types of ads that we use. Simple profile visit ads. It's a simple direct offer on the copy. We have call to action, check our profile for details, or follow us to see how it works. I'm giving you here an example of a video. It's being cut, but it's actually like a real type of video. It's 5 seconds. It's just this. In the background, we have a guy in a construction. So you see, we're calling out a niche. We have an offer, and then we have a call to action at the bottom. The second type is literally everything is the same. So lead generation DM ads. Same direct offer on the copy. See here. And then we have a call to action. DM us to see if you qualify. And here I have both, literally like follow us and DM us to learn how. You can have this also. People will do whatever the campaign objective was. They're both designed to hook busy business owners with a clear promise. You're not asking of them to put aside their time to book a call. None of that. You're just asking of them to send you a message or to follow. It's making it much easier for people. You bring them into you. You don't push them away with a hard pitch. You just bring them in. And then the funnel is doing the nurturing afterwards. You funnel them into this nurturing loop that sometimes can take 1 year and sometimes can be like in 1 day. You never know. Now you might be asking yourself, why do we have a direct offer? Why don't we just, do some how-to videos? Because we want to attract the business owners that want to buy. They have an intent to outsource part of their business to the agency. So we still want the same people that would book calls, but we're just extending the part of nurture by changing call to action, right? But still we want buyers. We want the audience of buyers. And that way your whole audience is consistent out of ready to buy leads. It is just a matter of time when somebody has a threshold to decide to buy from you, right? Now you only have to make sure that they trust you, that they trust that you can deliver on the offer, right? And this is what the nurturing part is going to do. And this is how you get these results. You have people following you, you have your DMs completely full, and all of them are qualified business owners that you want. If you did the offer properly and you did all that part with setting up the profile in a proper way. Now, the core goal is not to sell instantly. So these ads don't explain every step. They don't pitch your whole service, none of that. And they don't push a sales call up front. The only thing that they do is they bring the right eyes to your profile, and then they let the profile build the silent trust. You use stories to nurture daily, and you use DMs to qualify and to close warm prospects. It's much easier that way. The question that always pops up is how to think about a budget. So these ads are really simple. I started mine with €5 per day, $5, whatever, and it still worked because the Funnel Plus profile built trust while I was sleeping. And the thing is, cost per lead is going to be much higher if you want a lead to book a call than to make somebody follow you or DM you. So it's going to be much cheaper and much more lucrative in the long run. So start small. You can have €5, €10 per day. Focus first on testing your offer and call to action. As I said before, you don't know which time frame is going to work for your specific niche. You don't know, is it working daily? Is it working weekly, monthly? You don't know which thing works for them. Leads, appointments, close deals, what works for them. So you have to test that out. And don't panic about the followers or likes. You want DMs and you want warm eyes on your brand. If things don't work, the reason is because your offer is not good. So go back to the file where you written down how you can help your clients, how it makes sense for their problems and desires, and tweak it out. And then you're going to see. Scale slowly once you see the warm DMs coming in. It's going to be a process. It's just, that's the way it is. Like, you can't make it move faster. The only thing you can do is speak more to your prospects to learn what exactly do they want. This is how you create the ad. This is the ad creative structure. 3 simple parts: calling out the niche, your offer, and call to action. You see, this is a 5-second video. In the background, we always have something related to the niche. It's usually a person. People love to see like person behind, not just like business in action. For example, like if there was in the background like a house being remodeled, it wouldn't work as well as seeing an actual business owner working something. So calling out the niche, this is only for established construction companies. And then you have your offer. Get 1 to 3 private, highly qualified leads every day. And I have a mistake here, but that was just for purposes of this video. And then you have a call to action. Follow us or DM us to learn how. If you go with follow ads, just have follow. If you have DM us, just have DM us. Or you can combine it like this, because I've tried this ad and it was working well. So whatever the campaign objective was, as I said before, people would do that action that was required. The ad campaign setup is also really simple. So first, you either do traffic campaign if you want to do followers, or you do lead generation campaign. You have in the targeting 3 wide interests or opened, because the AI of Facebook is getting much better. So you don't have to do any special interests. I always love to put some wide interests. For example, I don't know, construction, if that's my niche, just that. And then I have 10 ad creatives per ad set. I usually test 1 open ad set and 1 ad set with 3 wide interests, and then I see which one is going to perform. Both ad sets have the same ad creatives inside, but that's it, literally. 10 same ad creatives, 2 different ad sets, and test it out which one is working. And that's all for ad campaign setup. It's really, really simple. Of course, you can dive much deeper into this, into ad scripting, add much more parts from the offer, expanding on that offer. But this is how I got started. Afterwards is when scaling happens, and that's when you can dive deeper into making the ads more specific. But if you don't crack the offer at first, there is no point in moving forward. So you have to start simple, get some results, and then expand on top of that. Understand this, the ad is just a door. The profile, the stories, the DMs do the closing afterwards. And that's where the real money comes in. Next, I'm going to show you how to nurture the leads you get with daily content, daily stories, in a calm DM flow that turns curious clicks and new leads into paying clients. And that's the glue at the end that you need to make this funnel work and to make it literally unstoppable. All right, let's speak about the nurture stage, and we will combine into that the conversion phase. Why this final step is non-negotiable, actually these two final stages, right? Leads don't buy the first time they see you, even if they DM you. You might think that if somebody DMs you that he's ready to buy. No, like still you have a lot of work to do in between. I have people DMing me and then ghosting me and then watching my stories for 3 months. And then finally we are back in DMs and then I sell them, right? So it's not, DMs don't mean anything at first. Without daily nurture, they will forget about you, or even worse, they are going to follow your competitors. They're going to go over them, they're going to give them money and not you. You don't sell in your content also. You warm people up in your content and stories. You sell people in your DMs and you combine that with VSL or selling chats or some sort of a sales calls, right? So it doesn't happen in content. If somebody DMs you, first of all, you want to qualify them. Then you want to guide them and see is your offer something they need? And you want to make it feel easy for them to say yes. So they can't feel as they're being sold to. Although we all know what transaction is, still this is something you want to work. I'm going to show you afterwards how to get that effect. Nurture is where you make your money in a calm, predictable way and a stress-free way. So if you skip this, your funnel will leak forever. So if this part doesn't exist, it is the same thing as the old funnel that we spoke about before. So it's an ad and then you have a pitch. Like this nurturing stage is so important. So you have to stick here, you have to make it work. Without this, people will just say, I have to think about it. You're going to get the same objections, right? The nurturing stage is here to make objections go away. The more you nurture people, the more it feels like this is a natural step for them to take, the natural next step to take, right? Without being pushy. If you don't do nurturing well, you will get the same objections and it will be as if you're running all other funnels. So what will we cover now? We speak about why daily content plus stories matter this much, how to keep people warm for days, weeks, even years, how DMs do the closing without stress, and why this builds an unmatched trust asset, bigger than any email list, bigger than any sales call skills that you might acquire. So speaking about the content and stories, this is where you get the trust on autopilot. So content warms cold leads in a way that nothing else is going to, especially now in this area that we live in. So stories build trust daily, DMs close the deal without being salesy, but together they build something much, much bigger. And that's an audience that prints money for years. So you get a situation where somebody signs in today, becomes follower, DMs you, whatever, and then 1 year afterwards, they decide to buy from you. So they never exit the funnel. So it's a combination. What do we use for this content part, for the nurture part? We use Reels and we use Stories. For Reels, we post 3 times per week. And for Stories, we post 3 times per day. This might seem a little bit too much, but it's easy to post Stories. And Reels, to be honest, once you have 10 Reels on your profile, you don't have to post any more Reels. You can just post once per month. Like I went 5 months without posting any Reels. But I did post Stories every day. So people watch Stories. They don't go to your profile and then check the Reels. They do that at first. But afterwards, they just see you on your story feed. Right, so stories have to be there every day. The themes that you speak about is pains and desires of your clients and how you can help them. And this is used in Reels and also in Stories. But in Reels the most. Like you speak about pains and desires in your Reels. And then on Stories you do that and all the rest. So pains and desires, objection handling, service explanation in depth. You can do the pitch here without the price, right? So you speak about what the offer is and you say, for example, you have special offers. You say, we have 5 new spots open. That's how, let's say, you do the pitch. And then you speak about the results and testimonials. You might see that we are getting back to the offer part here. So pains and desires of your clients, how you can help. These are all the assets that you created before. So if you did that part right, now you don't have any questions about what are the pains, what are the desires of your clients. And you can just start to post about them. So you had to do that before to make it work now. It's literally an endless source of content now. And you can recycle it. You can have 5 days, let's say, switches. First day you speak about the pains, and then you speak about desires, then you handle the objections, service explanation, and then results. If you don't have any results yet, you don't have to speak about the results, or you can just speak about the potential of your results. Like how could it look like if they work with you, right? So there are ways to go around that. What faceless content to post, and not in a way of themes, but what to post, like what is the actual picture. And I've seen that personal life surroundings work. If you work on laptop, show that. If you do video editing, for example, you show again your laptop. If you do photo shooting, show yourself somewhere on a scene, your workspace, right? And what I've been using lately a lot is just stock footage of your clients in work. So I use either Pexels or Canva Pro. And not even has to be Pro, like it's just Canva. Just go to photos. Anything related to the niche, it works well. So for construction industry, I just put random, sites, construction sites, and it works in exact same way. As long as you have stories every day, this can also work. So it doesn't actually have to be anything related to your personal life. It could just be stock footage, and it works well. So every story slide is a mini trust deposit. So your followers see you daily. Even if they don't buy today, they can't forget you. You're there every day. People are addicted to social media. If they follow you, will be there every day. They're going to watch you every day. So 90% of my followers watch my stories. That's wild. 90% of people. So you don't have to have a lot of followers for that, once again. One day they wake up and they think, okay, I'm ready. I trust this person. I want the service. I want the offer, actually. And that's the money nobody can steal from you. So the trust that you get from daily posting, which takes you like 10 minutes per day, that's so easy. It's 10 minutes per day and you get that machine running. So for the first, like when you're just starting out, you have 10 followers and you create stories for 10 followers. But as you get more and more followers, one story flow can reach, for example, in my case, 400 people every day. And the machine just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. And the more trust you get, the more stories you post, the more trust you get, more deals you close. And they're much, much better the more you nurture them. So you're building actually a lifetime asset. It's like a personal brand, but this is just for the service. Everything is the same as running a personal brand. All the same qualities, right? So most freelancers chase emails, phone numbers, or code lists that go stale afterwards. But here, every follower is an asset. And it's not that personal, right? If you're sending emails, it's like a professional thing. It's business related. If you call them, it's too personal. But if it's just a follower, just stories, they don't even realize that you are selling them into that. If you had the same messaging in your emails or calling them and saying that, it will have a radically different result, right? Because people come on social media to rest. And if you find yourself in that algorithm, like in their stories, they will just consume you. And the trust is going to be unconsciously built. It's genius. I can't believe that this is actually working. So they will see you in stories every day. They will watch your client wins. They will feel like they know you, that they know how your company works, even though you stay faceless. So they will be acquainted with the way that you work, right? You will be literally in their life every day. Again, people are addicted to social media. They're going to watch your stories. So every follower is a pipeline you own forever. Like Samuel's results is like he closed with 20 followers with new niche. He closed 4K deal in 20 days. In 20 days. It took him 3 days, but until he signed everything, I checked, it took him 20 days. Still, 20 days to close 4K deal with brand new offer, brand new niche, brand new profile. No results. It's wild. So tiny audience, but you get big trust. If you do the part of understanding your audience in a nice way properly. That's what this system builds. Some people on my list bought like 1 year after following me. That's why I say that it's not just a funnel. It's an audience trust machine that compounds forever. They're there forever. Nobody unfollows you. That rarely happens. When you think about it, it's wild. Like, you are in their life every day. Every day you're there. So who are they going to buy from? You, who's posting stories every day, your company, or somebody they seen the ad and they have to book a call and they have to show up there. I think that they'll probably go with you. And now to DMs. This is where money becomes real. So when your funnel and nurture do the warming part, DMs part feel easy, right? You don't pitch to strangers. They're already there. They're already warm. They're curious. They're ready to go. If they're not ready, they're still like, they're warm, right? So you qualify them, you present your offer, and then you close calmly. So there is zero pushiness, there's high trust, and you get to call money in that way. Now, there are two ways that you can start these DM conversations. Either they start the conversations with you, like starting of the ad campaign, or if they follow you, you either DM everybody who followed you and like welcome them, or you DM every new story viewer. So you can just, from time to time, you can, if you see somebody watching your stories often, you can just DM them and say, hey, how is it going? And how to communicate in DMs. This is also like, it's not a regular conversation. It's trying to still sell, but it's in DM. So how to make it work? This is a flow. You first ask qualifying questions. And I think about it as an intro call. So before, what I did was I had two calls. I had an ad. People will sign up to my ad. I will have an intro call, then I will have a sales call. So I just replicated and I just copied those same scripts into my DMs. So when I ask qualifying questions, I'm copying my intro call when I did sales calls. And that's just the themes. Like, you have to figure out where they are, where they want to be, what are the problems that they currently have. And then using all those information, you present your offer. If you see that based on all of the answers that they given you, that you can help them, that it makes sense for you to collaborate, then what I do, I send them my pin post. If they say that it makes sense, then I send them my VSL, which is on my landing page. So I have a simple landing page where I have a 5-minute video reading my pitch, literally, like reading my pitch, showing my results and giving my price. And then they reach back to me, then I close them, right? If I close them. If not, what happens is they say, yeah, it's too pricey, it's too much. I say, yes, it doesn't matter, it's fine. Just keep watching my stories. If I have something special in the future, or you change your mind, we can, work together in the future. And you would be surprised how many people, after they learn the price, and they say it's too much, they say they don't trust me. And I say, it's okay. Like, I don't expect you to trust me. Just follow me here. I post every day, so you're going to see. You'll be amazed how many people come back after 1-2 weeks, 2 months. Yeah, let's go. Same price, same person. It works. When you're not pushy, when you're not asking for that sales, it works, right? It works in the long run as a crazy wheel. Like, the potential is literally wide. After some time, you don't even have to have ads running. For 3 months this year, I had my ads off. I was just promoting to my current audience, right? I was having some spots open, some special, whatever, chatting with them, right? As a personal brand. I wanted to mention also that you don't have to have a VSL immediately. What you can have is just conversation with them in DMs, right? If they ask what is the price, you can just write manually. But what I've seen is like, and this is also like something for scaling, is having the asset of VSL is something that helps you in the long run once things get, let's say, busy, once you have a lot of followers. But that's something that I teach inside of the paid community. So after you ask qualifying questions, send them to pin post. If it makes sense for them, pitch them the price and see does it make sense. So you either propose a sales call or you send them a VSL, or you chat with them, continue to chat with them in DMs and pitch them there. When you are answering the questions, you can follow this form. So somebody messages you, whatever, you answer that, you acknowledge that you understood what they said. You say, okay, nice, whatever. You add to that relatable comment, and then you ask the next question. And this is the part where you're qualifying them. So if you ask them like, okay, so how many employees do you have? And they say, I have 2. And you say, okay, nice. That could work. And then you ask the next question. So what is your goal? right? So it's like it feels natural. This is what we do in a regular conversation. There are a lot of more things that go into this part of qualifying as a part of advanced funnel setup. But in general terms, this is all that you need. You can all combine this with opening up new spots, and then you have a different way that you communicate with them. That's how you close a lot of people in bulk, right? If you open 5 spots, it's a little bit different conversation. But in general, you can use this script as a normal thing that you do before you enter something like a lot more scalable, let's say. So let's do a realistic expectation for you. Some followers buy fast. Some need to watch you for weeks and months. That's why you need a consistency. So your job is simple. Stay present, repeat your offer, and filter with calm DMs. Again, we use reels like 3 times per week. You don't have to do that after you have the first 10. You could just post once in 2 weeks, literally. But you need to do stories. So 3 stories per day, every day, right? And I'm going to give you like a tip here also. Use the flow results, explain the offer, and call to action. That's the 3 things that you can mention on your stories every day. So speak about the results, explain your offer a little bit more, and then have call to action, which is if you are the niche, like repeat literally the ad. So the call to action is literally your ad. So if you're an established construction company and you want to get 1 to 3 leads per day, DM us. Send us word, react with emoji, whatever, right? That's it. So whatever you use from those themes that I mentioned before, problems, objection handling, testimonials, results, explaining your offer a little bit better, you always go start with the pain, then you explain pain a little bit more, and then you do call to action. That's a flow of stories. And it's really, once you get it going, it's like 10 minutes every day. It's so simple to get in your routine. So in this free training, I've given you a funnel blueprint. So you have this funnel that nobody in service-based businesses uses. Nobody uses this faceless funnel. I've never seen anybody coaching about this. It's something completely untapped for now. You have a setup for your faceless profile, so you know exactly how to make it work for yourself. You have an offer formula, so you know how to get to your offer formula. You know how to make that statement, and you know which part to, you know how to investigate your ideal clients. You have a plug and play plan for your ads, right? How to create the ads, literally how to launch them. It's so simple to run. It's usually people overcomplicate it, but it's really simple. And you have the right nurture mindset. So you have literally everything to get started. You have everything you need to close your first clients using this funnel. And I want to be real with you here. Most people won't do this alone because I've given you this for free. And I know that because it's free, people don't tend to take action. And I know that from my own experience, like I do the same thing. And that's why there is a community. So you can stay on track, you can get feedback, and you don't waste months tweaking it alone if you choose to go with that route. If you loved this free course, imagine having my full DM scripts, all the advanced tactics, my personal funnel feedback, and a private group of agency owners doing this with you. I have 2 owners right there. It doesn't matter. So the full money system lives inside of the community. You have 40 plus video lessons, a detailed blueprint of how to scale to 10K per month consistently, ad templates, content templates. I've literally mapped my whole journey. So I have you have all my mistakes inside, so you don't have to make them. You don't have to wait 6 months to get ahead. You have all of my experience inside. You have all the scaling strategies, so you can move much, much faster. We have weekly coaching calls and Q&A. And you have daily help from me inside of the chat. Your option number 1 is to join the school community right now. The link is going to be down there in bio. And the option number 2 is to work with me one-on-one. And for that, you can just DM me on Instagram. Now, for the second part, to work one-on-one with me, you do need to be a little bit qualified. You need to be making at least 5K consistently per month. And you need to be willing to scale to 10 to 15K per month. If you don't choose to go with any of these options, it's fine. I still want you to enjoy the free course. It still has enough value for you to actually get some results. So implement the things inside. Ask me some questions that you have inside of the comments down below. I'm going to answer all of them and post your successes. I want to see, is this funnel working? For everybody that tried it by now, it has been working pretty well. So any questions, any success, comment down below and let's see how this works.